Hi, this is video lecture 14.1 on the Russian Revolution. At the end of the 1800s, Russia had been ruled by the Romanov family for almost 400 years. Alexander III was the Tsar of Russia. And a Tsar is like a president or a king. And Alexander's style of government was known as an autocracy. And an autocracy is sort of like a dictatorship where Alexander is going to rule the people with an iron fist. He's going to make sure that whatever it is that he wants is done. He's not going to let anybody get in his way, and he's going to maintain his power at all cost. He's rough, he's tough, he's burly. Check out that beard. In 1894, Alexander dies, and his son, Nicholas II, becomes the Tsar of Russia. Nicholas, though, is a little different than his dad. Although he claims to be an autocrat, he's going to rule with an iron fist like his dad. History proves that that's not actually what happens. Nicholas has weak leadership skills. He doesn't understand his people and the needs of his people. He has poor decision-making skills. In terms of working with committees, making decisions, those kinds of things, it becomes very problematic for Nicholas. He lacks experience. He has very little experience in politics and government, but we also know that he's a devoted family man. He loves his wife and he loves his kids. Nicholas faced several problems during his reign. The first problem is the Industrial Revolution. By the 1850s, most of Western Europe had industrialized. Russia, however, was in the early stages of the industrial process, and you guys remember what some of those problems were. Poor working conditions, low wages associated with that, food shortages in addition to several crop failures, and all of this industrial process, this time, created unhappy citizens. Nicholas' second problem was the Russo-Japanese War in 1904. You'll notice in my map here, Russia, massive country, compared to Japan, an island nation. And in the Russo-Japanese War, it looks obvious that Russia would win a war against such a small enemy. But just the opposite happens. Japan wins the Russo-Japanese War. They smash the Russian Navy. As a result, the Russian people, they're embarrassed by the loss. They're upset with the decisions and with the decisions the Tsar made and the military decisions that were made. And they begin to doubt whether or not Nicholas is the right guy for the job. The next problem that the Tsar faced was when his citizens began to march onto the Winter Palace. It's the Tsar's Winter Palace, demanding better working conditions and more rights. The Tsar wasn't actually at the palace when this event took place, but the captain of the guards ordered to open fire on the Russian citizens, on these protesters. The event became known as Bloody Sunday. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. Anyways, Sunday, Bloody Sunday became known as this event where between 500 and 1,000 Russian protesters were killed by the Russian troops. As a result of Bloody Sunday, the 1905 revolution took place. Because these people had been killed on Bloody Sunday, word spread, and many of the workers in all the major cities began to strike. So many people began to strike during this 1905 revolution that Nicholas himself decided, I'm going to give in a little bit to the people. So he created what was known as the Duma. The Duma is a legislative body, so their job should be making laws for the people. But they had very little power, and they proved to be ineffective. Within 10 months, Nicholas was so frustrated, and because of his desire to maintain that same control that his father had, he sort of changed his mind and dissolved the Duma. He fired them. And as a result, the Russian people were outraged. Tomorrow in class, we're going to take a look at probably the final problem that Nicholas faced during his reign.